Hi everyone and welcome back to another Borkino Gaming video. Today's video is dedicated to, is it worth it to go to max rank 8.5? It's happening in the next 48 hours, so let's go ahead and cover some information and tell you what I'm talking about. So you can see here, this is the Crunchyroll sites, 3/15, 2300 UTC. We are actually going to be getting max level increase to level 88 and rank 8 equipment slots times 5 now equipable. So if some of you are wondering what is, rank times 5 equipment pretty much means, if you go into a character and you see here my Nozomi is actually upgraded, there are technically 6 slots in total, so these 2 extra slots mean that is rank 8 and then 5 pieces of equipment currently available for the character. The reason why I feel like everyone should mostly go to rank 8.5 is because it's an overall stat boost, but just note there are some characters that shouldn't go to 8.5, but it's really like eensy weensy tiny details that it's very particular, so it really depends on your personal preference. Alright, so you can see here all of my characters or most of my characters are rank 8.3 because it doesn't really matter now that clan battle is over. I'm not trying to min-max anything too heavily since I'm not a PvP player, so I'm going to make everyone rank 8.5. The next thing we got to cover is the actual stats and stuff, right? So here, this is like the image that I pretty much pulled. This is from the official Discord in case you guys are wondering where I got this, or the unofficial Discord that everyone goes in. But this is the most important part. You can see here on PriCalc, this is an information gathered together by a person named Endu, and all of this information is also technically gathered via the database that Dimbreath provided, one of the mods over in Discord, right? And this is everything that you need to know in case you're wondering like, hey, which character has certain stats and what are the different gains. Also, this is a Reddit post by u/KenOfNZ, and he also pretty much put it together in a Google spreadsheet in case you want to see it in this format, right? So you saw here earlier that the characters that you should not technically raise are the ones that are mages, except for Carol. Carol is like the only one. Now the reason for that is because they actually lose a TP boost. So for example, Io right here, she is going to get -5 TP boost, I believe, right? That's right here on Io. Now this applies to all the mages except for Carol, like I said earlier, and it's up to you whether you think it's worth it. Honestly, this TP boost is mostly for if you're trying to min-max PvP and you're trying to min-max trying to get your UBs faster. That's why that TP boost is so important for characters like Io. But honestly, the rest of the stats that they gain is like overall magic attack boosts and overall defense boosts. Defense boosts are sometimes not good for characters who want to get their UBs faster because lower defenses means they can charge their UBs much quicker and get more attacks off faster. Now with Anna, she's like the one caveat where she gets some crit rate, so you can technically use her, and the TP boost isn't that big of a deal. Honestly, I feel like 8.5 is worth it for a majority of characters, and it's really up to you whether you think the stat differences are going to make or break your team, because at the end of the day, everything is going to be worth it. I'll leave links to all these things, the PriCalc stuff. Thank you to Endu so much, Dimbreath, for providing the database and all the people on the Priconne Discord, but this information is going to be amazing. But for the most part, 8.5, whether you choose to stay at 7.6 or not, 8.5 is a good upgrade for a majority of characters. Personally, I'm going to upgrade my Kokoro because I want my Kokoro to have more defensive stats. Just note that the next clan battle we're going to be having, it's not going to be as difficult as the Minotaur, so you can keep her at 7.6 if you want. But I want my Kokoro to face tank, and I don't really care if she gets her UBs stuff. But it's really up to you whether you want to keep characters at certain ranks. Just note, when you keep characters at like certain ranks, like 7.6, 8.5, it will mess with your timings in clan battle. It will mess with your timings in PvP and stuff. For the most part, everyone's going to benefit from 8.5. So don't worry too much if you upgrade someone, because everyone's minor details where it's like, oh my gosh, I need to get this right in order to keep my ranks in PvP, right? One more thing that I wanted to cover, and this is going to be very important to me specifically. So hard quest double drop is going to be occurring 3/15 1300 UTC. All right, so I have here pretty much a time converter, and you can see here at 6 a.m. UTC or PST, that's going to be the time that I want to claim my stamina. Some of you are wondering, why do you want to claim at 6 a.m. PST or PDT? All right, so if I actually jump here over into my presence, and then you can see here most of my stamina is going to be acquirable or expiring at 3 17 UTC. This is pretty much when I logged in. So when I logged into the game, you know, it sets like a, I believe like a 5-day period or whenever March 15 hits to actually claim stamina. So if you're logging in later, it's actually more beneficial to you. Just like a side note, I didn't realize that until we started jumping into this. But I believe I'm going to be claiming my stamina at pretty much the time that I just showed earlier, which is going to be roughly 6 a.m. to 5 a.m. PDT. So that way I can maximize the amount of stamina that I can get and maximize the amount of stamina that I can use when, you know, the hard quest drop is going to be at 1 p.m. UTC. All right, it's going to be very important to maximize this for me specifically. That way I can, you know, get the most bang for my buck on hard shard farming. And if some of you are wondering, is hard shard farming going to be worth it to a refresh? It really depends on your situation. A majority of folks, I feel like it is going to be worth it if you are competitive, right? Keyword there, competitive. If you're not competitive or you're not looking towards getting a certain waifu to 5-star. So for example, Shizuru is your waifu and you just want to get one copy of her, or she's like, you know, you want to 5-star her, then feel free to refresh it, right? You know, waifu over meta all day. And one of the things that I'm going to probably refresh is going to be Saren, because I want to get her to 5-star ASAP. She's going to be a key unit. I might leave her at 4-star because it might mess with my timings. But for overall attack characters like Mimi, I want to get her probably to 5-star, Ray to 5-star, Ray's like a sleeper unit, Eriko definitely to 5-star. She's still good, especially like without her UE, because she can deal like heavy amounts of damage because she can generate her UB much faster because she takes so much damage. And Nobu's going to be really good as well. So when it comes down to like min-maxing like hard shard stamina, when it pretty much appears over on March 15th, which is going to be in the next 48 hours, you know, feel free to, you know, choose what you want to do. I myself, I'm going to save all of my stamina because that's the route that I chose to pick. Very risky at the end of the day. You can claim it technically at March 15th, like 12 a.m. your time. I'll have time converters down below in case you like want to be like, hey, you know, how do I min-max my stamina? Or if you didn't save your stamina, it's fine as well. You know, it's totally worth it to refresh your stamina during the hard quest drop double rate because it's pretty worth it. But like I said earlier, it's only worth it if you're a competitive player or you want to raise a specific waifu to acquire one copy of them. All right, so it's very situational at the end of the day. We'll cover it again in tomorrow's video on more detail. Let's go ahead and jump into PvP as we always do and see what matches that we can technically do. All right, so it's interesting. This has been like the team that we've been running as of late. This has been breaking most Tamaki stall teams. Thank you to Zero Wave. Now this one's going to be difficult because they do have a Saren, so technically their Saren will boost the Tamaki and take out the Akari faster. We'll see how that goes, but you can see here like we did deal some debuffs. Akari, don't go down yet. We need you. All right, she goes down now. Let's see how this works out. I'm just really curious because I've been very surprised with how well this team functions overall. Now, it's not free-to-play friendly because you have Makoto, but a majority of folks do reroll for Makoto, so it's a team that's semi-realistic. And it's surprising because I didn't think Makoto could be used in this way just because of the fact, you know, Makoto's generally not good for PvP. Ooh, are we going to lose this one? It looks like we might lose this one because if we don't take out this Nozomi, all right, we got to the Tamaki. Oh my goodness, don't miss Kaori. Please clutch it. Nope, we don't got this. Well, we'll see because Miyako, she might be able to tank all of the hits. Tamaki stealing that TP is actually really good. This Saren comp is very good to counter this comp in particular. I feel like this Saren comp won't work for some teams where they're more, I guess, defense oriented. Mine wasn't attack oriented enough, I feel like mine was a little bit too stally, and that's why I didn't win. But that was very interesting that Saren countered this team. I feel like that's a new team that's going to be popping up instead of using Maho. Alright, go ahead and jump into some Princess Arena today just because I feel like it. Okay, got some rewards there. Princess Arena is always like a tough place to be in because everyone's like just so strong, and I don't have that many units who are quote-unquote good to tackle this area. Alright, this is a very interesting lineup. Oh, this is like Mage Melt against Mage Melt. We're just gonna do it for the sake of like trying it. I just want to see. Most of the time when I'm in Princess Arena, I'm generally curious. I'm not, you know, ranking too highly in PvP. Most of the stuff that I'm doing is just to like get a sense of enjoyment when doing PvP. I wish we had like the triple like speed button, but we don't have it yet. One day it'll come. I'm pretty sure, all the quality of lives and everything. Alright, we are getting through the tanks. Did we take out any enemy teams on this side? We took out Kuka. Yeah, Kuka, who was the first one. Kuka wouldn't work out because most of my units here are attack based, or physical attack based. They're doing well so far. That's very nice. We're a minute in. We took out 2 units. I feel like this team would be better if I ran like, you know, mage comp or, you know, a mage melt team, because they had a bunch of pretty much magical tanks. But since you ran a bunch of physical attackers, of course, this team won't work out as well. It's still pretty good, I think, current situation that you're trying to fight in. And some folks were saying, you know, attackers have an advantage in PvP. It's not balanced. I think it's sort of on purpose so people can keep pushing PvP. That way, you know, there's an opportunity for folks to constantly rank up, regardless of the fact if someone has more stars, more levels and everything. If you bring the correct characters, you'll do just fine overall in Princess Arena or whichever arena. I think it's a good situation because it prevents people from staying in ranks too long, because if you stay in a certain rank and you get too comfortable in certain situations, I feel like when a gacha game gets too comfortable, that's when it starts to have some pitfalls in some situations, right? Also, I hope you guys checked out the Hololive EN 6-month anniversary. That one was pretty cool. Like, it was pretty hectic, but it was fun to watch. But anyways, that is it for today's video. If you made it this far, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once we hit 17,500 subs, we'll be doing a giveaway. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.